Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name's Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching us today. Today on our program, we've got Shahab Kaviani, who's the Vice President of HyperOffice. And I should just mention briefly that we are at the Gaylord National Hotel and Convention Center just outside of Washington, D.C. Shahab, how are you?
Very well, Rich. Nice to be here.
So your company is helping its customers become much more productive, right? Is that a good way of summing up what you're doing?
Definitely. We're helping small businesses communicate and collaborate and share information. We've got a lot more distributed teams and small businesses that are struggling to keep up with maintaining and implementing technology, and we're helping them be more productive in team environments.
That's great. And your customer base is a combination of end users and carriers, is that correct?
Yeah, we really started in selling directly to small, medium-sized businesses. Over the last year, we've gotten a little bit more aggressive in opening our channel programs, and that is a mix of telecom providers, some of the value-added resellers are systems integrators, and most recently we've brought on Sprint as an affiliate to provide business solutions to some of their small business customers.
And in terms of going to the market, the competitive solutions or things from maybe a Microsoft Exchange, SharePoint, the Google suite of apps?
Yeah, those are Microsoft Exchange, as you know, has done a great job providing stable messaging solutions to the enterprise and to small businesses. Maybe you know Microsoft SharePoint is actually the fastest growing license out of Microsoft, and so collaboration and messaging has really taken hold, and companies depend on it, day in and day out. And what we've found is that the small businesses are struggling with implementing and maintaining that technology. So that opened up a great door for Google Apps, and I think that's why they've successfully brought on some 2 million businesses now. And HyperOffice, we believe, provides a more comprehensive solution and at a lower cost point with more complete services. So we will also do all of the end user support, the implementation, all the hand holding. We say there's no geeks required, so we can do sort of from soups to nuts to get a platform where your team can communicate and collaborate and getting up and running quickly.
And so for a carrier, you can communicate with a number of devices using the native applications on devices?
Yeah, so we support all the main phones, so BlackBerry, iPhone, Symbian, Nokia's, Windows Mobiles. All of those phones are compatible with HyperOffice. We have a tool called HyperSync. In fact, there are, like I mentioned, Sprint is now recommending the HyperOffice solution where any of their mobile devices can get their calendars and contacts and push email down to the mobile device. Now, that's not anything that exciting for most people, but if you want to share your calendars and contacts, then that's where you got to add a new layer of software, right. Like a BlackBerry enterprise server or some connectors for Exchange, and then there's just a hodgepodge of different preferences of devices that those employees have in a company. So we're sort of that common glue that says, pick whatever device that you want,
right,
and don't buy any of the servers, and we'll do it at a fraction of the cost than trying to do it on your own, or if it's a telecom or a carrier that wants to partner up, they can essentially leverage our technology through a partnership and provide that suite of applications and mobile collaboration to their end clients.
And that's such a hot space right now, just collaboration, mobility, and the devices are getting so intelligent now that people are just looking to be able to run their businesses from wherever they are, right?
Yeah. I think before it was, we were on the verge of it, and now the devices, not only are they intelligent, but they're sort of inviting and easy to use.
Sure.
And I think the economy forced a lot of businesses to work with more contractors, more people who may not necessarily be at headquarters, and just the nature of just from globalization, more distributed teams trying to collaborate. And so there's people want to be on the road and be able to check their schedule, know who talked to their customer last and what was that conversation, and be able to get that information quickly. And so, and that's where the push technology comes in, where they can get that data pushed to their device and be able to sort through it, and without waiting for it to access a web server or anything like that.
And this is a global trend, right? For example, I know your company's doing some interesting work in India, and you're seeing some growth there as well, right?
Certainly, yeah. We're really excited about the partnership that Tata presents, Tata IndiaCom, and most recently in the EMEA markets, we've signed a partnership with VNC, and we continue to grow our international presence primarily through partnerships. So any telecom carrier providers who are looking at getting on to taking advantage of the collaboration market, messaging market, mobile collaboration, I think there's some great synergies there.
Now, I'm noticing a lot of companies have opened up their platforms, and you also are now making APIs available. How do companies leverage that that new offering to provide better services?
Well, let's take, for example, I think a really natural match would be unified communications. So what type of data could add value that we can add value to? So maybe a telephone conference or an instant messaging. Skype is a great example of this, and they're, by the way, actually opening up their APIs this year as well. So I think we're going to see a lot of interesting applications that are going to add value to Skype, and also vice versa. So that's a good example where HyperOffice has published APIs that a carrier can integrate with Skype and with us, or really any other software application, which increasingly are really starting to open up. I think the marketplaces that are out there, the software marketplaces from Salesforce.com to Intuit's marketplace, are really driving more sort of cooperation across software companies and technology companies and carriers to really add value to the end customer by integrating data and unified experiences for the customers.
So basically sharing content between the apps and just making sure that there's seamless data transfer between this app and this app, or maybe allowing the applications to also somewhat collaborate with one another.
Yeah, let's take, for example, email. There's so much data stored in email. We're an email service provider, so part of the collaboration suite, the document sharing, the intranets, the shared contacts, email and messaging. So you could take our email and integrate that with, say, a CRM or a VoIP service or a SIP service, for example. Contact management, it's another, all of your customers, your vendors, and so on. You could take that data and push it into another application that could be leveraged.
So theoretically, I could use the API to do a query on a customer name, let's say, for example, IBM, and do a search to see all of the recent emails and maybe the voicemails from that have the word IBM within it.
Certainly, yeah, absolutely.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So obviously very useful, and so it sounds like this is the potential for just more integration and more productivity boosts, right, in companies.
Yeah, and hopefully the end customer doesn't have to sort of get their hands dirty with all of that. And I think that's a great opportunity for carriers, systems integrators to bring a lot of value and sort of work with companies like ours to bring a more complete solutions to the market.
Well, that's great. Well, good luck. And
thank you very much.
Thanks for being on the program today. It was great to meet you.
Thank you. You as well. Thanks for having me.